Beyond this door is this room. And beyond this door is another door.
Okay.
Good teamwork, team.
Hop off of there and see what happens if the equilibrium is disturbed.
Great.
Climb back up onto the gear.
Yep.
Okay. Nothing happens.
All right,
gear
I'm
does
gonna
not
get
move.
onto this gear. Do you want to check out that west room? West room
What
looks
did
pretty
we
small.
see through here?
Another door.
A door.
Oh, that's the immediate next door. Okay,
Yeah,
every
there's
one
a-
of these rooms has another door in it.
Correct.
Yeah, I like the idea of going west first.
Okay.
Left-hand rule.
Coming into this room, there's a door to the south. It looks just like the first door. Solid, smooth metal slab, handle in the center, but just above the handle is, I'm going to call it a keyhole. But what I want you to understand is, I want you to think of like a super cartoony keyhole. Like it's a keyhole shaped hole allowing you to see through the door.
Like
It's-
Kingdom Hearts hole.
It would be, it's the size of that key. Yes, easily.
Think
You
of
could-
the secret doors in Mario World.
Right. You could reach your arm through this keyhole. It's ridiculous. On the other side of the door, looking through the keyhole, is a small room that comes to a dead end with a large treasure chest sitting in the end of the alcove. Atop the treasure chest, inlaid into the top of it, is a large ruby.
I am distressed that he described the keyhole as able to put your arm through it, and I'm not here for that.
Lucius, you put your arm through the keyhole?
Absolutely not.
We can build you a new arm.
Yeah, well, real great for Mad Battle. Jeez.
What's that to the northwest there, Breck? Is that actually here?
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Crates or trapdoors or something.
There's no trapdoor in the room. It's just the paneling of the floor. The tiling of the floor hasn't changed. It feels like the entryway does. Like all these little tiles have been snapped down into place, but aren't actually affixed to whatever the foundation is underneath.
In addition to the keyhole, is there a bar on this door?
There is, situated just beneath the keyhole.
It's a bar. I'm gonna go check for traps.
Stick your crowbar through the hole.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
Oh, I cast Good Berry. Everyone's got Good Berry.
One good berry?
One good. 1, 2, 3. 2 good berries.
Best berry.
That's a 30 on investigate.
Okay. So here's the thing about this keyhole, as you get up and you begin inspecting it, is a typical keyhole would have some sort of mechanism that the key would fit into, the teeth would rotate against tumblers, and if the correct tumblers are rotated, it undoes the latch inside the mechanism and opens the door. This is just a keyhole-shaped hole bored directly through. So the edges of it, there's no mechanism, there's no cavity where anything could be. You do notice, looking through the keyhole on the other side of the door, is another handle on the far side, again, just beneath this keyhole. But there are no other obvious mechanisms.
I'm gonna try lowering the door using the bar.
So grabbing hold of the handle, trying to move the door downward, you mean?
Yeah.
And there's a shutter. It does not move. However, as it comes back to its neutral resting position, as it recoils back, something inside of the keyhole, instead of seeing the room beyond, a new vision kind of comes in to take its place. And it shows, like, it has a quality like an oil painting might, like dreamy and impressionist. And it shows a road going through some craggy hills, and in the center of the road, a rock slide has blocked transit. And it stays there for a moment, and then it begins fading slowly out of view. And after 10 or 15 seconds, it's faded entirely, and you can once again see the room beyond.
All right, so I have two thoughts. One, we could try doing some sort of trickery to teleport to the other side, right? Misty Step, that sort of thing. We can see our way through. Here's a second thought. Let's go try to find a comically large key.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Especially one with like teeth that wouldn't actually turn an actual tumbler.
Yeah.
Maybe the comically
You mean
large
the-
key is.
You mean a key like the size of what, a sword?
Maybe it's in the darkness.
A little bit bigger than a sword, I think.
Key pull arm.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's see what's up behind door number 2. You agree, Alex?
Key glaive.
Tigui's arm.
Yep. Key
Ow.
glaive. Get some arm.
Heading up to the north here.
I'm dead. You've killed me.
Who's approaching it first? Who's entering this room first?
I think Alex is at this point once the doors are open. He's checking for traps.
Is Alex coming in with Scrappy?
Alex is riding Scrappy.
Okay, Alex, position yourself at the doorway, and everybody else position yourself behind him where you're going to be standing.
Okay, I was right behind Alex, so put myself over here.
Like here or on the next tile?
Just inside of the room is fine.
Okay, so I'll be right here.
Alex, what are you carrying on your person that's made of metal? Anything?
All right, let's get this started.
Anything unsecured?
Define unsecured. I don't have my gun out right now.
Like something that could fly out of a pocket that's not buttoned shut.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Again, let's get this started. Okay. So on my belt, I have a bunch of bullets that are, kind of probably pretty loose. I'm wearing chainmail. Or am I wearing the chainmail? No, I'm wearing half plate. I've got, not in the bag of holding though. I've got all the stuff in my thieves kit. I mean, that's probably pretty well secured. I've got a smith's kit, so at least probably like the hammer and the tongs are just hanging there. The gun is going to be holstered on my back.
And
I have a
riding
dagger on my belt.
Also, the giant
and-
metal badger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I'm riding a giant metal badger who
So as
has saddlebags filled with more metal things.
As you ride into the room, you feel a strong magnetic pull towards this device. So there's a pedestal up in the corner is the wrong word because it's a round room, but I don't know what to call the corner of a round room. So you're just gonna have to bear with me. There's a pedestal, maybe 2 or 3 feet tall. So it would come up to about mid-height on a human, and sitting atop of it is very pleasing to look at because it's like one of the platonic solids. What is the D20 actually called? Starts with an I. Icosahedron is a 20-sided platonic solid.
Man,
That's what
a hell
it's
of a
shaped like.
modron.
Icosahedron. There are no 20-sided modrons. That seems like a missed opportunity, though, to be honest. So,
You knew about
an icosahedron, about the size of a basketball. I'm assuming Alex knows what a basketball is. He's seen Space Jam. Sitting on the top of this pedestal. And it's metallic. It's got a metallic sheen to it. It's largely black, but it's also glowing slightly with this very dull, kind of opalescent glow. And it's heavily magnetic. So as you enter this room, I mean, your bullets are rattling around in your pockets, and like you can feel it pulling on your armor, and nothing goes flying across the room, as funny as that would be. I'd have to roll bullet damage, I guess. But a heavily magnetic icosahedron sitting on a pedestal. And to your right is yet another door.
Does Scrappy seem to have any issue like moving, or like is the magnetic pole strong enough that he has to fight against it?
No, not that strong, because Scrappy is much heavier than this object is. However, if you place the object like on Scrappy, you're certain it would adhere magnetically in place, and then you're not sure how much force it would take to remove.
Just a heads up, there's a really strong magical magnet in here. Especially Gus, you might want to be a little careful when you come into the room.
I'll stay out here until you open the door.
Let's go ahead and check this door for traps.
Hey, and it's identical to the previous doors.
All right, and try and open it by sliding it into the floor.
By sliding it to the floor?
No comically large keyhole.
No. And the door slides downward, just like the first one did. So feel a second or so of resistance, but once it gets past that, it's as though something is assisting it, pulling it down into place. And it reveals a hallway curving around to the right on the other side. And once the door finishes sliding down, it's down for good.
Can I see what looks like the beginning of another one of those large gears at the end of that hallway?
You can certainly hear it, that's for sure.
Okay. We've got another gear chamber through this one. Maybe check out the other wall first. And I'm going to check this door for traps.
This one looks similar to the previous one. It has a handle in it, except it's curved the opposite direction. It's curved away from you instead of towards you.
Oh, you know what? We probably have to open this one from inside the gear chamber on the other side.
I'm just gonna tie down. I think the only thing that wouldn't be easy for me to keep tied straight is my my dagger. So I'm just gonna put that in my pack.
Yeah,
And
Alex
sit
is
down.
taking tons of stuff out of his off of his coat and putting it in the bag of holding, and adding additional leather straps to his jacket before continuing.
Okay.
So I'll leave my pack by the entrance here and go over to look over whatever this is.
Like I said, about the size of a basketball, so you'd be picking up with 2 hands.
And does it like come loose though? Like I could pick it up?
Oh, yeah, it's just sitting on this pedestal. It's not attached to it.
Seeker, have a question for you. Does that magnetic thing look like it would fit into a comically large keyhole?
Looks like it's a little too big to fit into the keyhole.
Yeah, and I say not quite. I think we're looking for like something else. Keep it in mind though.
Maybe a key.
We're sort of thinking.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I want to go into this room last because of my large amount of metal and the amount of preparation it takes me.
So this door is open now?
Yes.
I'll just walk down the hallway just to get a good look at the next room.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. It's a large gear chamber. Superficially similar to the first one. So you still have gaps in between the gears. And looking down a couple of feet beneath the gear is just this inky black cloud. However, this room has 2 gears stacked one on top of the other. So you've got this inner gear and then the outer one. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The inner one, or the outer one, is moving clockwise. The lower one is moving counterclockwise and is moving considerably slower. Also in the room are 2 large hands jutting out from the center pillar, sweeping across the upper gear. And they're sweeping erratically. You've got a shorter one and a longer one. The shorter one is moving a little bit slower than the longer one, but watching it for a minute or so, you don't see any particular pattern to their movements, making it fairly perilous to step anywhere on this top clockwise gear. Standing on the teeth of the bottom counterclockwise gear, however, these hands are not a threat to you.
Do you need any extra straps?
Do you see any extra straps?
No, does he need any extra straps for his gear?
Oh, Gus.
No, I'm fine. I've got everything. I'll just hold on to everything. It's fine.
Gus, you step into the room and immediately all of your surgical pins fly out of your chest towards the icosahedron.
Just all the pins fall out of my joints and I just fall apart.
Yes.
Oh, the reveal.
Gus has been a doll this entire time.
I guess we should try the obvious thing and try opening these doors first.
Probably, yeah.
So, I'll head back and pick up my pack, and then make my way out onto one of these.
There are 4 doors in the room. Here, 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 and here. We see all the doors? Okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Does the D20 still... Is the magnetism still effective at this range? Once I get out of that chamber?
No, as this far away, you don't feel that pull. And even standing in this doorway, you could feel the pull, but it wasn't going to pose any actual threat to you.
I'm going to put a text note, just so that we remember there's a magnet here.
I want to see if you can spell icosahedron correctly.
Magnet.
No, that was incorrect. What's next?
Sounds like we're gonna move out onto this lowest most gear.
Yeah. Just try pushing each of these doors down.
We're going to start with
my initial concern is I think the curved ones seem like they have a trick. The ones that you can push down are all pretty consistent.
Are these actually here? These little symbols?
Gus, as they're starting to try doors, which to no effect, by the way, as you try to slide the doors down, they just shudder in place and do not move. But Gus, you, looking at the top gear as it's spinning around, you do see 3 sections where it looks like a circular plate is set down into the gear itself. What's your passive? Actually, no, you said you're looking directly at it. I'm not worried about your passive perception.
Right.
Watching, anytime one of these erratically moving hands passes over one of these 3 plates, it glows slightly with a white glow and then fades back away. It lasts just for a split second, so you have to be watching for it.
Okay. I think these are what we got to do. Is this pillar in the middle? Is that like an actual pillar?
It's a pillar that comes up through the center of the gears, and the 2 clockwork hands are attached to.
So
there's 3 doors. 1, 2, 3.
And 4.
4.
Alex is standing next to
4.
one.
Oh, there's 4. Okay. I guess
So-
technically 5 then. Oh no, there's no door.
There's no door coming in from the hallway.
So I'm wondering if I'm thinking these 3 symbols, like one of these 3 doors, is what they mean.
You don't see symbols on the circular plates. I guess there are symbols written on the map, but there's just those are
Right.
not.
They're
Those
just
are-
plates.
They don't mean anything. These are just circular plates, and
Right.
yeah, the only thing that you can tell about them is when one of the hands passes over them for the split second that the hand is pointing at it and passing over it, it glows briefly.
My
With a
thought
soft white glow.
is that if they were going to be referring to these doors, Gus, then they would be spaced similarly to the doors, and they're not. This one's over here.
Just 2
Also,
hands.
there's only 3 of them too. Like I could see.
There's 2 hands and 3 plates.
I'm wondering how much force there is on these. Do you think maybe if we move that magnet near it, we can influence their swinging? And I'll step back to let to go maybe check that out. Guess you might
Good
want to get
stuff.
out of the way. You seem the most metal.
I think Scrappy is the most metal.
Yeah, but Scrappy's way
Scrappy
over
is
there.
totally throwing the horns in response to that.
Excellent.
But yeah, I'll go pick up the big magnet.
And that magnet itself is not heavy. Not particularly heavy, even though it looks like it's made out of solid metal. It feels solid, it doesn't feel hollow, but it's also not as heavy as you were expecting. However, holding it, you feel the attraction towards the metallic walls of the place and to the metal on your person.
So yeah, I'll try to keep it in the center of the hallway, away from the walls.
Okay.
It's too big.
Yeah, it didn't work when I tried to scale it for some reason. I don't know why.
Connor, can I scoot past you?
And just scoosh past.
Connor says, no, this is where the adventure ends. Nobody gets past me.
This is an investigation, not an adventure.
And then I don't want to immediately strike it against one of these things, but I do want to see if, like, as one of them passes by, it seems drawn towards the orb.
Okay, so you're holding out. It's not an orb. It's like an icosahedron. An orb is
It's an
perfectly smooth.
icosahedron.
It's like I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. It's a good word either way. Yes, as you hold the icosahedron out, and a hand swivels in your direction, it kind of stops in front of you, and you can influence its movement back and forth.
Can I keep it held over one of these plates?
If you wait for a few seconds, one of them will be coming your way. At
Yeah, I
that
think
point,
that's
though,
what
you're
I'll
going to
wait
have to... So the difficulty is that the two gears are moving different directions. So you're going to have to move clockwise on the counterclockwise moving gear. So you're staying aligned with the plate. Does that make sense?
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Which of these three plates are you looking to hold?
Let's go with this one for now.
And which of the two hands are you looking to grab?
The longer one.
The longer one. So after a few seconds, it all lines up, and the hand goes to pass over, holding out the icosahedron. The hand stops. You can kind of hold it there. The plate in the gear starts glowing, and this time, instead of glowing for just a brief moment, the glowing reaches an intensity, and after a moment, this door slides open, revealing the room beyond.
And I hold it up and I say that. You were right, Gus.
I pictured Seeker, like, walking up a down escalator or vice versa.
Yeah, basically.
So looking into this room, you can see there are two more doors inside, you see?
Uh-huh.
And a very dead person.
That's not.
That's just concerning.
Seeker, what do you do next?
If I wiggle the orb a little, does the thing still follow it?
If you wiggle the orb a little, so that the hand moves off of the plate, the glow begins to subside.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was worried about. Does anyone want to investigate that room? I'll just keep making my way along this gear.
I want to first get a good look in there and see if I can figure out either if there's anything that looks like they were killed by anything, or if there's like I'm gonna basically check for traps.
Are you actually entering the room, or are you staying on the...
I'm gonna stand on the gear at first while
So
I'm
just
visually looking for things.
Visually inspecting the room, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Yep.
Give it to me at disadvantage, because you're standing outside of the room just looking in.
Oh, throw away the 4.
Oh no.
13.
13. No obvious traps jump out at you. What you can tell, though, is that the dead person, vaguely human shapes, but largely skeletonized, so difficult to tell what he might have been at one point. Just wearing filthy rags. What you notice, though,
Well,
the floor is the same as the previous floors, the snapped in tiles, but the two doors are right next to each other, which means there's no space for this door to slide right, and there's no space for this door to slide left.
let's take a step inside and take a better look at that corpse.
Okay? When you get closer to the corpse, you're kind of expecting to smell the must of decay. But when you get close enough to it, you realize it's not a skeleton at all. The bones are made of metal. It's something forged out of copper and bronze and iron to resemble a skeletonized corpse. The rags, however, are in fact rags.
So I have a stupid idea. Is there like a thigh bone or something in there that is a key? You know, a skeleton key.
Oh, very funny.
I'm not the freaking artificer.
Does it look like a
Blocked.
human? Does it look like a human complete skeleton?
It
Do I
does.
take a quick inventory of the bones?
Human-sized.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you could tell the difference between, say, a human skeleton and an elf skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And in fact,
Okay.
Especially being an artificer, when you're looking, you can see the very intricate joint work on the elbows and the finger bones, the jawbone of it.
There's no like decaying material that would have made up like tendons or anything for this stuff to actually work together. It's just a pile of bones.
Correct.
Is the cartilage there? Like, is the rib cage complete?
Sure.
Okay.
You have to kind of pull the rags aside to get a good look at its chest, but yeah, it's a metal
Yeah,
skeleton.
I'll tell that to my companions. There's no immediately obvious way to open this door, and the curved ones seem to have a trick, so I'll come back into this room.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna just try rather than I'm gonna let the longer hand go, and then in the spirit of scientific inquiry, let's try it with the shorter hand. Same symbol.
As the glow subsides from the plate, the door close to Alexander slides shut. But as the shorter hand comes around and you grab it with the Icosahedron and hold it over the plate once again begins to glow, and the door near to Alexander opens back up.
So here's my current suspicion, right? Is we'll somehow find another one of these orbs. Seeker keeps saying orbs because he doesn't know the word icosahedron.
You have to be an artificer to know that word.
Right. We'll somehow find another one of these orbs and we'll be able to keep both of them open at once. I don't know what good that'll do us, but maybe something.
Is it possible to grab both hands at the same time?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Does the other one come by while I'm holding this one?
You have to wait a few moments, but yeah, after a couple of seconds waiting, because the hands kind of move erratically. They move randomly. But once the long hand does swoop back up towards you, it stops. Now you're holding both hands over the magnet. You wait a few seconds, but the glow does not grow in intensity and nothing happens to the door.
Yeah. So let's try another one of these doors, shall we?
So I'm thinking, yeah, if we get a second one and we pull them in a specific configuration, maybe it opens another door.
Or maybe there will be some reason why we need to go through some passage.
Yeah.
Let's try this one.
Okay? And which hand are you grabbing, the long or the short?
Long one.
You wait a few moments as the long one's coming your direction. You hold the magnet out. As you do, the glow on the first plate subsides, and this door comes to a close. After a few seconds, the hand comes around. You hold the icosahedron out. The hand stops in front of you. The plate in front of you starts glowing white, and as it glows in intensity, the door near Alexander opens once again.
It sounds like we already need to get two of these going then.
Yeah. Let's try this one that I'm standing near just for scientific.
Yeah, just make sure.
And Seeker, as you move around, situating the glow on the previous plate dims, the door closes. Hold the icosahedron out. Which hand are you grabbing?
The shorter one this time.
Okay. You wait for the shorter one to be coming around. You hold the icosahedron out. The hand stops. The plate starts to glow. And when it reaches its peak intensity, the door near Alexander once again opens up.
I think you're gonna need to check that body over for some stuff. Did you already do a thorough search on it?
Is it magical?
I just got a quick look at it.
Yeah, do a more thorough search. See if there's anything useful on it.
Maybe
Sure.
there's something
Yeah,
behind
I'll
those
pull the
doors.
robes out. I'll start I will check to see if there's any magical aura about it,
Okay.
and then I'll start piecing through. I'll actually start arranging it as if it were a living skeleton laying there, arms crossed, kind of in a funerary pose.
Okay. I mean, as you start manipulating the thing, I mean, you have a respect for the intricate work, especially that goes into the joints. And you're laying it back and crossing the arms over the chest. And as you do, as you lay it back, the rags covering its chest, or its ribcage, I guess, rise up, and a folded piece of parchment falls out and hits the floor.
I'll pick it up and unfold it.
And written in common script, it simply says, "My name is," and then a long underline.
Just give me a name.
Seeker.
Skelly.
Gus, did you say
I
Skelly?
don't read out loud that the thing says my name is. I just ask Lucius to give me a name.
Eldov.
Alex pulls out a quill and writes Eldov on the line.
You write Eldov on the line. And as the ink dries on the parchment, it also fades from view. And as it completely fades, the skeleton begins to move. And it sits up in its position, and you can kind of hear a rattling sound as its various pieces move. It turns its head with its blank, empty eye sockets looking up at you. And then, somewhat clumsily, it raises up its hand and holds it out towards you in a handshake position.
I'll shake its hand
And
and
it
probably
does.
offer to pull it back up to its feet.
And it accepts, and it's not very sure on its feet. The thing doesn't have muscles. But you manage to get it up to its feet, and it stumbles back and forth for a few moments. And then it gestures with its hand towards the parchment that you're still holding.
I'll hand it to him.
And the skeleton takes it and tucks it back into its rags.
Can you speak?
And it shakes its metal skull back and forth. It opens up its jaw, and you can see... you're an artificer. What is your passive perception was what, 14?
14.
Plus 5 would be 19. So looking inside of the thing's jaw cavity, you can see a mechanism in the back where its skull meets the spine, where something could plug in or be latched onto. There's a component missing.
Lucius turns around and looks at the two doors behind him.
There's still doors.
Looks like it's missing a probably a speaking box.
Listen, you're the machine expert, not I. So I'll take your word for it. Maybe we can get through these doors somehow.
ask
Could
if
you
it
help
opens
us
too.
move through this area in any way?
And the thing, very, very animated. Like, all of its movements are very exaggerated. I promise that I designed this dungeon before I watched that Mr. Bones speedrun last week, by the way. Like, I promise. With one hand, it reaches up and scratches its chin, and with the other hand, it reaches up and scratches its head, as though in very deep thought. And after a few seconds of that, its arms drop, and it shrugs.
And then it pulls out a guitar.
And then it
Starts
pulls
playing
out a guitar and
bongos.
starts playing the blues.
And I hate it.
I did hate it.
So yeah, thinking we try to get these doors open somehow.
And there are handles on the doors, just like the previous ones. Which one are you trying, and which
Floor.
direction?
I'm gonna try. Unless you want to look over these doors for traps, Alexander.
No, I don't. The curved doors, I'm pretty sure, mostly have been puzzles so far.
Okay, then I'm gonna try pulling this one down to the floor like we had the others.
And there's a shudder as it impacts and does not move.
Well,
I'm sorry, it moves, it does not open.
Get the skeleton to try and open the door.
let's just try his little 4 directions.
Alright, you try it up, down, left, right, and same result each time.
Lucius turns and looks to this one and tries it again. Tries the same thing. All 4 directions.
Up, down, left, and right, same thing. Blocked in all 4 directions.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Alexander?
I think we got to solve some sort of ridiculous puzzle to open the curved doors.
Can
Could you hold this for a second,
Yeah, I'll hold it.
Connor?
oh yeah, Connor's
Okay.
You got
Connor's less metal. And I'll
it.
once
No,
Connor's holding it, I'll step over there and I'll pull out a few ball bearings. And I just say maybe there's like a weaker magnet somewhere. And I toss them, 1 each to Lucius and Alexander. Try bringing these around the room, see if anything attracts them.
You don't feel anything.
Skelly, do you have a magnet on you?
You don't feel anything magnetic in the room, including his name's not Skelly, by the way.
I don't know its name.
You
his name
guys,
is Zelda.
his name is Eldo. You guys named it.
I wasn't in the room.
Hey, Corio, guess who we found?
Just-
I'm pretty
we
sure
found
Eldov's skeleton would be solid gold, wouldn't it? Like
I can plate it.
he got the surgery.
I can totally do the gold plating.
Nothing overtly feels magnetic in this room as you kind of go around, including Eldov the skeleton.
Yeah.
So Mr. Skelly Man here, can you try?
His name is Zelda.
He gives no response when you call him Mr. Skelly Man.
Okay,
Like you're not even talking
you
to him.
name. Why did you name the metallic skeleton Eldov?
It's the first name that popped into my brain.
Okay, fair enough.
Would have been
Eldov.
funnier if you named him Mephistopheles.
Yeah, no, not doing that. Sorry.
I mean, legally under Truth Spell, we found Eldov.
So Gus, what are you inquiring of the skeleton?
Do you mind opening this door? Do you mind trying to open this door for us?
And it looks at the door. And it strides over to the door with its overly exaggerated movements. And with each step, it looks like the whole thing's just going to fall apart into tatters on the floor. And it puts its hands on the door, one hand at a time. And then begins jerking up and down and left and right in several different directions. And you see the rattling through its whole body as it does this. Then after a few moments of this, it takes its hand off the door, turns back around and faces Gus and gives a shrug.
How heavy is Eldov here?
If the bones are solid, he'd have to be fairly heavy because he's a human-sized creature filled, but if
Alright.
the bones are hollow, he could be considerably lighter.
I'm just wondering if we should bring Eldov over near one of these symbols to see if he has the same sort of properties that these hands do. I mean, he has hands. They're made of metal.
Trying to wonder about that skeleton key.
You see, you laughed at me, but
No, that's fair.
that's some dumb artificer crap right there.
Oh, it's a dumb joke, is what it is.
Well, I mean, we can bring him over there. Let's just try it out over here just first. See what the worst that could happen is.
Yeah, why not? I'm okay with it.
What are you doing with Eldov, the skeleton?
Asking Eldov to move near one of the plates to see if he makes it glow the same way that the arms in the center do.
Okay.
Before you do that, let's move the magnet out of this room. Let's not let Eldo be in the same room as the magnet.
I've only known this Eldov for a few minutes, but I gotta say, my favorite Eldov by far.
Well, so here's the thing, though. The moment we step away, that door's going to close.
Yeah.
Also, as long as he stays pretty far away from it, it's not the world's... Like, it's not dragging stuff from across the room.
Yeah.
Afraid he's gonna comically see the thing and drift towards it in a way that's over exaggerated.
If he comically drifts towards the thing, then the person who made this Clockwork dungeon should have seen that one coming.
Yeah, it's their fault they broke their own puzzle.
So you're ordering Eldov to come out and try placing his hand over one of the things? One of the
Yeah,
bolts?
but first
Yeah.
I'm going to put a little rope around him just in case he takes a tumble.
Tying him off
And give
to
the
him.
other end to Gus.
Okay. And Connor, this whole time you're holding the icosahedron over that plate. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Here, let me spawn you in an Eldov. How about... There you go. Put him where you want him.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Might need.
Oh,
Oh,
there.
So yeah, we'll move him over here to try to light up this plate.
Okay.
Oh, he's going everything.
You direct Eldov, and for a second you think he's tumbling down in the darkness because his footing is not sure on even ground, and now you're having him move onto this moving gear. But he doesn't fall, and he holds out his arms, and he's striding along on the outer cog so as to keep his arms hovering over, and the glow does indeed begin to intensify. Connor, you're staying put? Is that correct?
While everyone is still in the room, yeah.
This door slides shut.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fine.
And
Connor can just move.
this one opens up. Connor, give me a perception check because it's difficult to get a good look into the room because you're on a moving platform.
Perception check, you say.
Mhm.
It's a 9.
A 9, okay. So that door opens up. The rest of you in this room, both of those doors open up. Oops. I lost control of my keyboard there. Both of the doors slide open. The north door reveals a very short hallway, and then another door at the end. The south door just reveals another door immediately on the other side.
Look at the other two and say, well, I think they others die. We're stuck in here forever. Secret, we're eating Gus first, right?
Well, I'm awfully small.
I think that I could take you.
I wouldn't be a meal for anyone. Our Seeker starts edging towards away from both of them.
It was a joke, fellas. But we're stuck here. I guess we're stuck here until
I don't joke with a tiefling about eating.
they figure something out here.
what's in this room?
You think?
Oh, that's right. Alex is out here too. Alex, give me a perception check. I'm sorry. I thought Alex was in the room with the other guys for some reason.
Nope.
Yeah, give me a
Be
perception
dumb.
check. Unless you're going to physically enter the room.
I was gonna look first and then go in.
Okay, if you're looking, go ahead and give me the perception check.
Look before you leave. That's what I always say. I never say that.
Perception is 6.
Of 6. You can see it's a small circular chamber like the one where you found Eldov, but because the floor you're standing on is moving past, and because you're relying on dark vision, it's difficult to make out details in the room without going in.
Let's take a look.
Going into the room, there are 4 doors. The one that opened, one to the north, one to the south, and one opposite you. In the center of the room, you see a small brass mechanism, maybe about a foot high, in the center of the room. Looks like resembles a sundial on first examination.
Yeah, taking a. Is there anything like that looks like I can move it on this mechanism? Walking in there and taking a closer look.
Yeah, it looks like a sundial. So by that I mean a metal plate, and then there is a small triangular protrusion on one side of it pointing straight up.
I'll try twisting the protrusion.
Putting your hand on the protrusion, it feels like it won't twist, but it feels like you could, from that position, you could rotate the dial left or right.
Oh, sure. Well, let's rotate the dial left.
Okay. And as you do, You can feel a chain or a winching mechanism beneath the floor that you seem to be operating. You're not sure if you're winding or unwinding something as you go counterclockwise around the dial. But you go about 3 full times before it comes to a stop and you can't move it anymore. And you know that if you let go of it, it's going to winch back into place. Meanwhile, the Babysitters Club up here, for seemingly no reason at all, this door starts opening here, although much slower than the other doors have. It takes about a full 30 or 40 seconds, revealing this room beyond.
I'll head in there.
So if we are trapped in here, do you think Lucius is half flavor or full flavor?
Full flavor.
Seeker.
You're damn right I am.
In this room, you could ignore this weird circular thing here. However, there is a large treasure box here. And on top of it, whereas the first box you saw had inlaid what looked like a circular ruby, this one has some kind of red material. It still looks like a ruby to your eyes, but it's cut much differently. This horizontally inlaid rectangle in the top of the box.
Secret looks at the box, sighs to himself, and then he goes to open the box.
Okay.
I mean,
Opening up the box, and inside it's inlaid with velvet, the edges and the bottom. And sitting right in the center of the box, in a small divot that's shaped to hold the object, is a key. It's a brass key. Small, it's not comically oversized.
Right.
But the head of the key is a small mechanism with clockwork hands moving in time.
All right, I'll take that.
Okay.
And then I think we make our way back before we get trapped in here.
Yeah. Lucius bangs on this door. Calls out, "Can you guys hear me?"
You guys cannot hear him in the other room over the sound of the gears moving here.
Do you think we should let them out?
Did anything happen out there? I turned a thing.
Not that I saw.
All right, I'm gonna let go of the thing. I'll let go of the.
Do you
No
think we should let them
sooner
out?
do you guys step out of the room with the key than this door starts winching shut in jerks and halts.
how fast does it close?
Not fast enough to trap your foot.
Okay.
Once it comes back to rest, I'm gonna try turning it the other direction as far as I can.
And then a few seconds later, the door winches open again.
Same door?
Same door.
Okay.
And there's nothing. I never see any evidence that what I'm doing does anything, right?
Nope.
All right, I'll let go of this and head back out of the room. Yeah, probably let him out. That doesn't seem to have done anything. The mechanism in there.
Connor looks at Elda of the skeleton, and before he realizes, rather than try and convince him to do anything, he just steps away from his little plate.
And as you do, the hand comes free. And as the hand comes free, you guys notice this door closes. Alex, the door behind you closes.
Mm-hmm.
And the door here opens up.
Lucius shouts over the din of the mechanism. "We found a key or something inside."
Yeah, Team Cannibalism found a key.
Wait.
Teams now?
Wait, what? You were in there for like 5 minutes.
It was a very harrowing experience.
We came up with a
Sundial
plan.
with a mechanism I could turn, but maybe it did do something. Did the door open like I don't know, 25
Yeah,
seconds
doors-
ago?
Did you open it
Doors are
twice?
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
If you played with the thing twice, then yeah, the door did open twice.
Okay.
Also, Team Cannibalism, listen, we came up with a plan. It was an emergency plan, but it's a plan that we needed.
I'm on Team Goodberry.
Needed to be
Connor
done.
and I are now Team Goodberry.
They're very delicious.
We ate them already. And we were still hungry.
I smelled them and then I ate them and now I hate everything.
What's
I
next?
can't believe you guys started talking about cannibalism, but I gave you good berries. I gave you 2.
Seeker ignores Connor's plate and heads over towards this plate over here,
Okay.
and he's gonna try using the key to open the door using the plate.
Like holding the key over the plate?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
All right, let's go try this key on the
Yeah, on the obvious.
comically
level.
large door.
We haven't checked this one out yet. Like one of the things opened that one, right?
No.
We're gonna need to find a third thing to probably open the third door.
So we tried all 3 of these and they all opened this one?
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
this singular one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
I
when the
think
two-
I think it's a stacking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the 2 of them were activated, this door closed. That door opened.
Okay.
Also, it strikes me that we have one magnet thing and up one of these plates. So if we found a second magnet, we would suddenly have all of our avenues covered.
Yep.
We should just start carrying magnets with us.
A
Have you
magnet.
not been carrying magnets with you this whole time?
Do you have a magnet and have not
That's
said
a small
anything?
bar magnet, yeah. My
Like a
Tinker's
stronger
tools.
magnet.
Yeah, no, I don't have any magical magnets that pull lead for some bizarre reason.
Alex, make an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Since I didn't know you actually carried magnets, but yeah, if you've got Tinker's tools, you would have.
There's going to be a bar magnet in the Tinker's toolkit, yeah.
Sure.
That's an intelligence of 11.
Okay. I would have felt good to roll that die because that wasn't high enough. What's next?
I think
Try it.
I think we tried the silly, ridiculous, normal-ish looking key inside the silly, ridiculous, large keyhole.
Yeah.
We just want to leave the magnet back on the pillar it came from.
I think we.
For now, why not?
Hey, Elder of the
Yeah,
Skeleton,
yeah,
why don't you come along with us?
And it moves its hands away, and as it does, the door comes to a close, and it stands up, and its arm comically shoots up, holding it to its head as though giving a salute.
Thank
Hail
you.
to the skeleton. You know any good jokes?
Dutifully follows along. Eld of the Skeleton looks at you, and it opens its mouth again, and you can see inside, at the base, the back of its spine, where Alex pointed out earlier, where some kind of mechanism could be latched onto or plugged in. And it
You
just
might want to workshop that one.
shakes its head. So we're going back to the horrible magic missile room.
We're going through the horrible magic missile room to the ominous keyhole room.
Sure.
Murder keyhole room.
Hasn't murdered anybody yet. And as long as you give Eldav simple commands and call him by his name, it has no difficulty following simple orders.
Oh, we would never call someone by an improper name.
Gus called him
We
Mr.
spent too long with
Skeleton.
Florian.
I feel like Florian would really enjoy this skeleton, would have to know what its true name is.
Oh, it's like you wouldn't believe.
Seeker, what are you doing?
Wow. So
I'm gonna put the key in the hole. Try
So-
to turn it.
It obviously doesn't fit,
Yeah, that's fine.
but you put the key to the hole, and again, the image on the other side, which is just the room beyond, fades from view, and a different image takes the place of the empty space of the keyhole, and it looks like you're looking at an ancient dwarven vault, somewhere very, very cold, to the point where the doorway you're looking at is completely iced over. And the image stays for a few moments, and then slowly fades away.
All right, I try putting the key in again and see if the same image comes out.
And this time, the image shows a tree with a large knothole, but wrapped around the tree, choking it and covering the knothole, are thick thorned vines.
All
And
right.
then the image
Gus, pass
slowly
me a
fades
torch.
away.
Sure, I'll hand him my torch.
Try striking the torch and putting that in the keyhole.
After the image fades,
No, while the image is still there.
while the image is fading.
Yeah.
Okay. And you place the torch in, And it doesn't seem to interact with the image at all. And after a moment, it fades away completely.
All right. And after the image fades, I'll put the torch in by itself.
And this time, as you move your hand close to the keyhole, the first image reveals itself again, showing the road through the rocky landscape blocked by a rock slide.
Hey, Eldov, do you mind sticking your arm through this keyhole?
And Seeker, from behind you, you hear a rattling sound as Eldov hops to attention. He comes up behind you and reaches over your shoulder and shoves his arm through the keyhole. And an image appears in the keyhole after he does, showing the dwarven vault again with the iced over door.
I'll try putting the torch in with the iced over door. Maybe we need some sort of elemental affinity here.
As you place the torch in, you see the ice over the door melts away, revealing a treasure room beyond. The image still fades away, but this time after it does, you hear a click on the left-hand side of the door in front of you.
I try opening the door to that side.
And it opens. And inside this room is a treasure box with the ruby inlay.
Well, the other box didn't kill me.
Yet. And as you approach it, you notice that the ruby on top is not circular, but rather hexagonal.
All right. I'll keep my key at the ready and attempt to open up the chest.
And the chest kills you.
Ah, damn it.
And we're going to take our break here.